Flosstube, it's Kate Madamice and welcome back for another Flosstube video. This is number 10 for me, so we've hit double digits. Pretty excited about that. I didn't know how many I would be making when I first started, so I'm happy to be continuing to make videos, and I plan on keep doing it for a while. Okay, so I have only been away for a couple weeks, but I decided that I needed to make a video a little bit sooner this time for a couple reasons. If you notice, the last video was kind of choppy. It's because I cut out a ton of just nonsense. I need to not go so long in between videos like that, because there was just way too much for me to talk about, and then it got way too long. So, only a couple weeks. I'm happy to have you visiting me again this soon. So, let's get started. I just wanted, right off the bat, let's just cover whips, because we all love whips, right? The first one on my pile is actually, I don't show this one very often, but I work on it all the time. Crinkle, crinkle, because I'm taking it out of the package. But this is the Biscornu of the month for this year from Tiny Modernist. This is the first month, which is the dragons. I work on it pretty often because I work on it at work when I can. But I don't really get lunch breaks very often. So when I do, I get to put in a couple stitches, but not very often. So this is the front of the Biscornu. I have finished the back, which is this. And I'm doing this on 32 count. I think it's 32 count opalescent Lugana. So I don't know if you can see the shimmer there, but it's super cute. And I love all of them, and I can't wait to stitch all of them, but I'm just very slowly chugging away on them right now. Sometime maybe I'll be able to put a focus on it and get some more crushed. But okay, next up, this is Stella. Hush. Who's out there? Hold, please. Our neighbor is getting his mail, so Stella is upset by that. So if you hear her huffing over here, that's why. She barks, but a lot of times she just does these like frustrated mini barks, or whatever. You can hear her maybe. Returning to Cross Stitch World, the next thing I'm going to show you is my Christmas Rules by Lizzie Kate. This is what it will look like at the end when all the parts are done. And I have very minimal progress on this month square. I'm doing this for the 12 months of Christmas Sal. So I just made that outline, and that's all I got so far for this month. But I've got plenty of time. It's only the first week, and generally I don't finish it until the very last second. So, plenty of time. Okay, and the next whip I have on my pile is Little House Needleworks 4 Corners. And this is where I am on that. Let's get at least a little bit of paper I can put behind it. So if you look at this fabric, even on here, it's showing up a little bit orange, but not super orange. In real life, this fabric is super orange. It's called Dill by Picture This Plus, and to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of orange, so when I bought it, I just got it off of 1-2-3 Stitch, and I thought it was going to be way more tan colored. Like if you look at the front of this, it's got a tan background. So I thought that's what I was getting. It's not really what I got, but I'm not hating it. At first I was, because at first I was just doing like the rust colored here and the brown, and I started the rust and brown in the alphabet, and so I had like an orange fabric with kind of orangey brown and then brown, and it wasn't very fun. But once I started putting color in, it was nice, and I really like the white up here. So this is the block that's supposed to represent the east. That's a lighthouse, and of course a house. This is the sail of a ship. That's the white caps of some waves. I can't wait to get it done. I really like that block. So we'll see how that goes. I do really like the weather vane just in general. I would just stitch the weather vane. This pattern comes in 3 parts. The first part is the entire weather vane, and then part 2, I don't remember if this is the way it goes, but one of the other 2 parts is north and south, and the other one is east and west blocks, and you just put them in the corners. So, but yeah, I'm liking that one. It's a Stitch 9 challenge piece, so it's always good to work on those. I'm still trying to get one done a month, so I'm going to try to get this one done this month. I thought if I get one, direction done per week, then I would have it done by the end of the month. And let's face it, at the very end of the month is StitchCon, so I'm not going to be able to get much done there. I'm not going to plan on getting much done there. So I have to kind of get it all done before StitchCon. We can see how well that's going, because today is June 7th, so it's been a week, and I clearly haven't finished the first direction. It's alright. If it doesn't get done, it doesn't get done this month. Sorry, I'm uncovering. So the next whip and the last whip I'm going to show you today is Mother's Tree by Lavendar and Lace. This is the model of it. And I have been able to work on it a little bit. I work on it kind of like at night after I get done working on the other stuff. I just put in a few stitches, and it's kind of nice. The top of the tree is coming in. I did finish charting out all of my family names. I will go ahead and put a picture of, it's going to be a picture from my phone of my computer screen of my charted out names, because I haven't printed it out yet, but I'll put it over here. It's a long list. I go all the way back until 1620, which is my great times 12 grandmother, and I only charted to go down to my grandma. I'm giving it to my grandma as a gift. She is really into genealogy, so she's the one who had that list pretty readily available. Honestly, I asked her, and within a few days she had given me, a list back to great times 12 of her maternal line, which is pretty amazing. And so I'm giving it to her. I want to go down to her name, and for some personal reasons, that's as far as I want to go right now. So that is that. Plus, that's going to be enough stitching, and it's going to be a big enough piece just going down to her name. So, okay. Let's do the giveaway. Yay! So for my last video, I showed you the full kit and all the accessories that are associated with this Chart Needles Dance, and it's sponsored from Poppies. This is a collaboration, Summer House Stitchworks, Ink Circles, and Hands-On Design. It's a exclusive pattern to the shops that went to the class at Nashville Needlework Market this year to get this pattern. I think it will be exclusive for a year, so if you want it and you don't win it, you can find it at Poppies. I'll put all the link to her online shop and Facebook and stuff like that down below. So I have a random number generator pulled up on my computer. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be fancy and be able to show you me clicking the generate button, because I don't want to figure out how to do that, and I'm filming on my phone, so I don't really know how to film it on my computer. Whatever. I'm just not going to do it. Sorry. So I had 17 entries. Clicking generate now. The winner is lucky number 13, which is Emma Cross Stitch. So Emma, I will comment on your comment and let you know that you won. Congratulations. If you would just send me a email at the email in the drop down box below, designsbymadamice@gmail.com. If you just send me an email with your address, I will get it out to you relatively soon. I don't know if I can promise that it'll be out really immediately, but I will try my hardest to get out to you as soon as possible. Emma Cross Stitch. Yay, congratulations. Alright, so I wanted to talk a little bit about this hashtag 24 hours of cross stitch. I am definitely totally participating. I can't help it. I'm a joiner. I like to join in the fun with all the other people. So I saw everyone talking about it, and then I went and joined the Facebook group, and I just had to join. So I'm trying to do the monthly June challenge. If you don't know what that is, just very briefly, they have options for either a time challenge or a stitch challenge, and you get to choose your own, so that it goes, a range of difficulty, if you want to call it that. So the time challenge can either be 24 minutes, 120 minutes, or 240 minutes. So I think it's a pretty wide range of, whatever you can put into it. So what you do is you choose your stitch or your time challenge, and you work on a piece trying to complete that challenge, but the piece has to correspond to a letter in the words 24. And then if you can connect your piece to one of those letters in any way and you complete one of the challenges on it, that's it. You just do that for each of the letters in 24. I think I'm drawn to it because it's not a huge commitment, because she lets you kind of choose your own path and choose your own adventure. So I'm working on it. I'm using 4 corners for most of the letters. I'm going to use Mother's Tree for a couple and Christmas Rolls for a couple, I think. So you can kind of tell where my focus is for the month. But I'm also participating in the 24 hours of cross stitch weekend, which starts today at 4 p.m. It is currently 3:49 p.m. so I got about 11 minutes before it technically starts. I'm going to try to do 24 hours in 24 hours. So I'm going to start at 7 p.m. After I film this video, I'm probably going to take a nap. And I have some friends coming over, and I'm super excited. Susan from Fire Poppies is coming over, and then our friend Abby. So I'm excited to have them over. They're gonna join me for the first little bit of evening stitching, and then I think they're gonna go home and probably sleep, because I don't think they're participating. That's okay, I'm the crazy one. So the key is for me that I decided I'm going to cross stitch. My goal is to cross stitch for 24 consecutive hours, not continuously stitch for 24 hours, if that makes sense. So for myself, I'm going to count an hour as one of the consecutive 24 hours if I stitch for at least 10 minutes during that hour, which allows me a little bit of leeway. If I need to take a power nap, I'll take a 45-minute nap and still stitch for 10 minutes. And then it will count for me for that hour. So, and I might be derailed because I am prone to migraines, and one of the biggest stressors for me for migraines is sleep patterns, like irregular sleep patterns, which is kind of why shift work didn't work very well for me. So we'll see. If I start getting any symptoms at all of a migraine, I'm calling it quits and going to bed, which I I feel like that makes sense. I think everyone could forgive me for not completing the challenge if I start getting symptoms of migraines, because it's just not worth it. But so yeah, that's my goal. Like I said, I'm starting at 7 p.m. tonight. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to try to film little snippets here and there of the 24-hour journey. We'll see. Tomorrow morning, there's another stitch-in at Panera with the South Carolina Stitchers. So I am planning on going. I will be obviously going after having been up all night. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know how long I'll stay if I go and stuff, but I do want to go still. And that helps with my at least 10 minutes out of every hour stitching, because for the hours that I'm going to be traveling to and from, I obviously can't stitch while I'm driving. I mean, maybe if I had a self-driving car. Honestly, I think about that all the time on my way to work. I think about how if I had a self-driving car, I could totally just cross stitch on the whole way to work, because I have kind of a long commute and I sit in traffic a lot. So, you know, it's kind of boring. It's not like I'm constantly moving. I'm just going to stop and go because of stoplights. So all I really want to do when I'm stopped is, you know, stitch or something, or read, or literally anything, than just sit and stare at the taillights in front of me. But derailed. Completely derailed. I think that's everything for that. 24 hours of cross stitch. I'm excited to participate. It's the first time I'm going to be trying to do that. So, okay. Okay, I'm looking at my list and I kind of forgot, but I was going to show you this in my last video, but number one, it was way too long, and number two, I completely forgot. But I have gotten this for myself for organizing my cross stitch. I'm going to stand up. Here we go. Here we go. Can you see it? If I prop it on my chair here? Kind of. Okay, so this is a whiteboard, which is not interesting by itself, but this is my plan, if you will, for cross stitching. Oh man, I should have thought about this before I tried it. Can we do that? That kind of works. So if you look, I have all my whips listed on this board. I have decided to kind of have rules for myself for whips. I don't want to have more than 15. So I put my rules up in this corner over here. 15 whips maximum, 2 finishes equals 1 start. I'll replenish my whips during Stitch Mania every year. And yeah, I have color coded it in a way that makes sense to me. I don't expect it to make sense to anyone else because it's my brain. But I've got general categories that I want to fill. These first ones are what I call compulsory. So I would like to have one of each of these categories going at any given time. If you notice, I don't have a self-design going right now, and I don't have a counted canvas going right now. So a couple of, you know, my upcoming starts, I want to maybe fill in those blanks. I do have one more than I have available in my free spots, which is Winter Wonderland, which is why it's kind of crooked over there and not really associated with the group. If you notice, some of this is a little bit erased. That's because Miss Stella likes to sniff it, and that makes dry erase go away. So until I get it hung up on the wall, I'll probably have some little chunks missing. But I just thought I'd share that with you. It was really fun for me to put it together, because I'm crazy and I like organizing like that. But yeah, when I was writing it, I'll put a picture up here. But when I was first sitting on the ground and trying to like write it all out, Stella was very upset that I was not being a very good puppy mom, and I wasn't playing with her, and I wasn't giving her attention, and so she pouted the whole time. I also wasn't letting her like climb all over the whiteboard or sniff it too much. That might have been part of it too. But and I've got 2 more things that I wanted to chat with y'all about. And they don't have to do with cross stitch. So if you are only here for cross stitch and you don't want to hear about anything else, you can go ahead and turn me off. Thank you so much for watching. And I'm very happy that you came and visited me, but you don't have to listen to my other nonsense if you don't want to. And I don't blame you. It's okay. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you about is books. When I was younger, I read books all the time. I went to a very small school, and our junior high and high school was combined in one building, and in the 7th grade, I had finished all of the books that we had, if you looked in the fantasy genre of our school library. So needless to say, I read books all the time, and I loved it, and I have bookshelves over here that are just full because I used to have such a big passion for reading books. And then I went to college, and my dad actually bought me as a graduation gift a collapsible bookshelf. It's really cool, actually. It's wood, but you can kind of fold the shelves all up on itself, and it becomes just one flat piece, so I could easily move it to a dorm room because he knew that I love books so much and that I would want to take some with me. And I did. I filled that bookshelf, and I took it with me to college, and I had it with me the whole time. But when I was in college, I think I just got too busy with school and other things, and just stopped reading books. And in the last year or so, I've done a lot of listening to audiobooks, which is nice because I can do it while I'm in that commute to work every day and stuff. But I have been noticing lately that I have a lot of troubles just focusing on one task at a time, and I think that that's not good for myself. I think that I need to be able to focus on one thing. Like, I've started trying to, at night when I'm stitching, I just stitch in silence. I don't listen to my audiobook. I don't watch Flosstube. I just sit and enjoy the process of stitching. And I actually have been enjoying it a lot. And I think reading is just one of those things that when I'm reading a book, I can't really do anything else, right? So it's a good, I think, practice for me to try to focus on a single thing for a while and not just splinter my thoughts, 50 different directions all the time. I think that it's probably just a good habit for me. So I decided I wanted to start trying to read books again. And so I've been doing really, really well at nighttime. Right before I go to sleep, I just take a little bit of time, whether it's 5 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, to just read a book. And the book that I decided to pick up is one of my favorite books of all time, and it's well loved, and I'm going to show you the cover here. It's called The Lost Years of Merlin. And if you can tell, I have loved this book. I have read it so many times. It's the first book in a series, but at the age that I got this book, I didn't really know. I don't want to say I didn't know, but I didn't think of book series. I didn't know that this was a series when I got this book when I don't even know how old I was when I got it. I started to read really early, so this looks like it's a thick book, but I probably was reading it way too young. And so then later in probably junior high, early high school, I figured out it was a series and got all of them and finished out the books. But this is my favorite one by far. It's just the first one. And I love Merlin. And I love stories about King Arthur. I don't really, they're okay, but I don't really like stories of the Knights of the Round Table per se. But I love Merlin and offshoots of Merlin and King Arthur. And I think that this book is really what started that love for me. So, anyway, so I decided to pick this up and read it, and it's going really quickly. The chapters are pretty small, so sometimes I'll pick it up and get done with the chapter within 5 minutes and go to sleep. So, but I think it's a good starting point because I'm remembering that I love it. It is kind of interesting to read it now because the pace of it is super fast to me, and I think it's because I've been listening to so many audiobooks, and when I get audiobooks I always try to get the most bang for the buck. So I have an Audible subscription, and so I want to get the most expensive book that I can with my monthly credit because I'm cheap or something. And those are usually books that are extremely long. So like 20-hour long books. This book, if someone were to make an audiobook, is probably like 5 hours or something. So I think the pacing of it is just a little bit different than what I've been listening to lately. But anyways, I'm enjoying finding reading again. And I think, you know, I've got a lot of books on my shelf over there that I haven't read before. So maybe I should start working on some of those. But I also have a lot of books over there that I loved them when I read them the first time. So there's a lot of them that I kind of look at and feel the desire to read them again and experience them again. Maybe I'll go every other or something. We'll see. Just a second. I'm going to drink some tea. This is some herbal tea, celestial seasonings herbal tea, because I'm not fancy and don't have loose leaf tea. Not that I don't want it, but I just don't have anything to make loose leaf tea with. And it's like a lemon something. It's really good. And I'm drinking herbal tea because I want to take a nap after I get done filming. And okay, the last thing I want to talk to you about. Oh yeah, guys, I try to remember where I'm going with things, but like I just got super distracted by that tea and completely forgot what I was like about to talk about. So whatever, I'm scattered. Oh, and the light. The light is probably a little bit bad because this is my favorite type of day. The last few days have been my favorite type of day, which is a overcast and rainy day. It's really, really warm though, so I can go outside and feel comfortable because I hate the cold. I can go outside, feel comfortable. It's hot and muggy to most people and they hate it. I love it. And then when it rains, I just love it. I love being out in the rain. I purposely go outside when it's raining and it's warm. I don't like cold rain, but seriously, this is my favorite type of day, but it's not very good for lighting. So, yeah. Oh my gosh, distracted again. Okay. The last thing I wanted to talk to y'all about today is knitting. Ugh. Guys, I always said I hated knitting. I always said that. And I tried to crochet and I crocheted for a while and I can. It's not like I can't do it, but it's not my like most favorite thing to do in the world. And then I had one single knitting project that I ever had and I never finished it. I just gave it to Goodwill. It was like a scarf that I made like this long and then quit because I decided that I hated knitting. But I see so many people on Flosstube knitting and I am a comfy clothes type of person. I like nice, warm, snuggly clothes, probably because I'm always cold. But anyways, so then I just started seeing all these things and I'm like, oh, I would like a nice pair of comfy knitted socks or a shawl that's all, you know, you wrap around yourself with some nice soft yarn and all this stuff, and it makes me want to knit, and I have never ever had the desire to knit before. So I don't know, guys, maybe I'll try it. What do you think? Do you think I should try it? The thing is, I don't want to knit anything like the beginner stuff. I don't want to do I don't want to knit any washcloths. I won't use them. I know that's the easiest thing to do. What I want is I want to knit socks. And I want to knit shawls. And then maybe someday a sweater. I know those aren't necessarily easy things though. Do any of you knit? Do you have any input on that? Can I just jump in with knitting a shawl? The thing, I heard, okay, I just started watching Jessie Marie does stuff, which I know, like Where Have You Been? why have you never watched her before, whatever. I don't know. I just started watching her. And like a couple videos ago, she said something about a shawl club. Like a knitting shawl club. Like that's all you knit is shawls. Like I want to do that. But can I do that? Is that something you can jump into as a beginner? I don't know. What do you think? You guys give me some opinions down below. Anyways, thinking about knitting. I'm enjoying reading again. I love cross stitching, and apparently I need another hobby. So maybe knitting. Let me know what you think. Alright. Well, if I take little videos during this next 24 hours of craziness, I'll just make a separate video because I learned from the mania thing that it just makes it way too long. So if I do it, I'll make some shorter videos and patch them all together into like a Flosstube extra video. But so keep your eyes out for that. Maybe. Who knows? We'll see how I do. That's all I have to talk to you guys about today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and listening to me ramble. And I will see you next time. Love you guys. Bye.